All right, our own. Well, so close up. Ooh. There we go. What's going on, everybody? And thank you for tuning in to another edition of the ManUp Real Talk podcast. I am your host with the most, Mr. Michael Wiley, saying greetings and salutations to all of you, our faithful followers and listeners. We appreciate every like, share, tag, whatever it is that you do to support this podcast. We greatly appreciate it because we know that had it not been for you all, there would be no us. Now, for those of you all that's joining us for the first time, I want to say welcome. And for everyone else, I say welcome back because your boys are back on the air with the ManUp Real Talk podcast for the people. And joining me as always is my brother from another mother, Mr. Philip Hines, a.k.a. Mr. Classic, a.k.a. OG Triple OG, who is always and definitely in the building. What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? How you doing?
It is Thursday, man. Can't help I'm feeling pretty good. It's Thursday. We got them stimulus checks coming.
Yeah.
Woo, Lord. Look here. All I'm saying is
some folks money might hit their bank accounts this weekend.
Man, they talking about folks is, man, look, people is finna clown. You got taxes, you got stimulus, man.
Might be a lot of new cars out here.
There's gonna be a lot of yellow tags on the street coming in the next month, man. I promise you it will. A lot of them new temporary tags, man. Listen, appreciate everybody that's joining us on tonight. If you're in the chat, why don't you go ahead and chime in so we can recognize you and appreciate you. We got a good show for y'all today. We're gonna talk. I think we got some fairly interesting topics. Some stuff that just bothers me.
Here we go.
I'm not going to get in a soapbox, although believe me when I tell you it's close by, but I'm not going to get on one, but it's just things, man. I mean, it's crazy. Jackie, I see you. I appreciate you for hanging out with us. Brother Terrence.
What's going on,
T2 in the building. What's going on, Terrence? I see you. It was some good stuff. Listen, real quick, next Tuesday on our Tuesday show, brother, man, hey, look, let me tell y'all something about this guy right here. If y'all don't know, this young man has been a avid supporter of ManUp.
Yes,
and I really just want to take the time to, and all of y'all, don't get me wrong. I mean, all of y'all that support, I appreciate you, but Pastor Sam's has really been an avid supporter of ManUp, and he plugs us whenever he gets a chance. I mean, on his show, which is on Fluent Radio, y'all need to check him out.
Yes,
and I mean, he really supports us and backs us in the things that we do.
Thank you, my brother.
Thank you. I just want to appreciate you, online and just tell you thank you. And I love you and I appreciate that from him. So y'all make sure y'all check him out on Fluent Radio. I know he's on Thursdays at 6 and I believe he's on Mondays in the afternoon. And Pastor, you can just post your times if you want in the chat. I'll make sure I put him up there. But real good dude, man. Has an excellent show. I love his format. It's great. I see my honey enjoying the chat. What's going on, baby? Oh, Lord Jesus. Jimmy Shannon, what's going on, my friend? Long time. This is my work buddy from Computer Share downtown, man. What's going on? I appreciate you popping in. Hey, and I see, there go Mount Mitzi. I see Mitzi is in the building. What's going on, Richard? Terrence, ain't nothing popping, man. The same old same, man. But we got some good stuff. What's in your
background, Mike?
Is there something in the background? I can't hear anything. The TV might be up a little bit because I was just watching. I'm on mutation. I was watching. Now, if you hear someone,
Kelly to me.
If you hear someone talking in the background, that is definitely the wife.
Be quiet, Kelly. We're taping now.
That is definitely the wife who is commenting as she's listening silently with her headphones on. I think. But that was the TV that was up because I was watching Biden just a minute ago. Listen, next week. On Tuesday, on our Tuesday show, we're going to have Brandon and Elizabeth Baldwin of the podcast 23 and Married. 23 and Married. They're going to be joining us, and we're going to be talking about them babies. That's right. Y'all may not have heard about them, but I'm talking about babies. I'm talking about them parents that don't want their kids to be male or female. They just want them to be. They just want y'all to let their kids live. So we're going to talk about that on next week. They'll be joining us. And then on that following Tuesday, we'll be joined by Miss Cynthia Munden. And we're going to be celebrating her. She is our entrepreneur for the month. And we're going to, as I said, be celebrating entrepreneurs all through the year, and just appreciating them. Look, I want to dive right into the conversation. So I want to start off a little light. And I want to talk Looney Tunes. That's right. I want to talk some Looney Tunes on tonight. Couple of things. Now, for those of y'all that don't know, LeBron James is going to be starring in a new Space Jam, right? He got a new Space Jam coming up. There you go. This is Pastor Sam show, just talking. So on Thursdays at 6:00. Make sure y'all can either catch him on Fluent Radio or you can catch him on Facebook Live. Just follow him and y'all to get the notifications for him. It's a really good show. You are the co-host of the show. It's real dope. I hijack his show all the time and we have a good time talking. So it's good stuff. But LeBron is going to be in the new upcoming Space Jam. And I don't know if y'all remember the old Space Jam. It had Jordan in it, and he was alongside the Looney Tunes like Bugs Bunny and all of them, and space basketball, all of that stuff, right? Real good. It's really in the same vein as Roger Rabbit. So they have a new one coming out, and there's a couple of changes that they made. One of the changes was the little girl bunny, Lola. Now, you all can go and look up the pictures and everything, but what they decided to do is that they kind of changed Lola a little bit. Now, if you don't remember the old Space Jam, Lola was the girl bunny, and she was very what's the word? What's the word I'm looking for? She was very feminine. She was very she had a very feminine figure. She was a girl bunny, and the way they drew her, you knew instantly that it was a girl, right? And I didn't think anything about it because I'm like, it's a girl bunny. She's supposed to look like a girl. What's the problem? Well, apparently they felt that she was over sexualized. And so what they decided to do is change how Lola looked. So now, if you look up Lola, she basically looks like a brown version of Bugs with really baggy shorts and a baggy shirt on. So any feminine qualities, I mean, you can still tell because the way her eyes look and stuff like that. But any real feminine qualities that she may have had, completely gone. And they said because she was over sexualized and they wanted to change that and really tone that look down. Because they didn't want to paint her as the damsel in distress and this, that, and the other. How far are we going with this? Right? I don't understand how far we are trying to go with this. Sean, what's going on, man? I appreciate you tuning in. But they changed Lola. They said she was too feminine. She was too cute. So they had to tone her down. They had to, and excuse me if y'all offended by it, but they had to butch her down to make her be more palatable.
Don't say that, Mike.
That's what they did. No, Mike. That's exactly what they did. That's what they did. They changed her from being a pretty girl bunny, to making her look like just Bugs with brown fur and eyelashes. I mean, that's what they did.
These are the times we living in now, Mike. Everything is PC. I keep trying to tell you, PC sucks, but these are the times and days that we are living in now.
But that's insane to me.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You because you thought that she was over sexualized. I mean,
Bugs? You're not trying to offend anyone, Mike.
How is it about now? How is it offensive when you have look? And let's be real. If you played any kind of, if for those of you guys that play basketball, and I ain't play a lot of it, but I was on the court with my guys, and I might have shot a couple of shots or whatever, but I ain't running no 5-on-5. Let's just get that out the way. But anytime a girl came on the court, it was a big deal. especially if she could ball. That was an even bigger deal, right? Because you trying to impress and everything, and y'all know how we do. And sometimes, and especially if she's the only girl on the court, you got a lot of guys scoping her. And that's just how it was in the cartoon. It was just like Lola was fine. She was cute. And Bugs was all over her. You know what I'm saying? He was crazy for her.
Yeah.
But what I liked about it is that they didn't play her like she was soft. She was strong. She was independent, and she could ball.
Joe Phillips, what's going on?
And she made sure that she checked them on that. You understand what I'm saying? So, I'm just like, I don't understand why they had to change her look to appease people. Like her femininity was a problem. And to me, I have a problem with that because I think now the message that you sending out was that you can't be pretty and play basketball. You can't be sexy and play basketball. You can't be feminine and play basketball. And I'm going to go ahead and say it. Sometimes when I look at the WNBA, I wonder.
Stop, Mike. Stop.
I'm trying to figure out which one of them is really named Joanna. If you understand what I'm saying.
Stop.
Can we be honest? I mean, can we be honest? Look, y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm just saying. It's like it's why it's being it's like they're trying to say that she can't be girly. She can't be a woman. She can't be feminine. She can't be, I mean, it's a cartoon, but she can't be attractive and still play ball. You have to change it because people really don't want her to, if you want to be real, people really don't want her to be feminine.
Not at all.
They would have preferred if she was just non-binary.
Or like you said, the tomboyish look. Not anyone. I mean, but Mike, I mean, it's sad even that we have to talk about stuff like this. But this society that we live in now, no one wants to be canceled. No one wants to get the backlash.
Right.
So everything is just like I said. PC is.
Yeah, that's right, Pastor Joanna. Y'all remember that movie Joanna Man?
Yeah, Joanna Man.
I'm looking for them. They in the NBA. It's a couple of them.
Stop.
I'm just saying, but continue. I'm sorry.
No, I was just saying. It's like I said. We talk about this all the time. No one wants to be offended no more, and that's what's wrong with our society right now. It's like you can't give people honest opinion, because if you do that, they're going to quick to shun you, because we live in a world now where keeping it real is only tell me what I want to hear.
But isn't it weird though? How is it that that's being offensive to somebody? The way, if she was meant to be a girl bunny, how was that being offensive by making her look like a girl?
Believe me, Mike, it's somebody. Someone's going to get offended.
Oh, and it don't end there. It don't end there. No. Now, they're not even going to make Pepe Le Pew. He's not even part of the Looney Tunes anymore.
Please explain that to me, Mike.
Okay, listen.
What happened to Pepe Le Pew? What did he do wrong?
All right, look.
He's a skunk.
Let me explain this to you guys. So, what they're doing with Pepe Le Pew is that they decided that they are no longer going to use his character within the Looney Tune franchise. And the reason being is because, now I need y'all to get this. The reason that they're doing it is because they say that Pepe Le Pew promotes rape culture.
What? How?
I'm just going to let that sink in. Pepe Le Pew, the cartoon skunk,
oh my God,
is a promoter of rape culture.
We live in a crazy world. What about this guy? Okay, what about
rape?
This?
Listen to what I'm saying. A cartoon skunk is advocating rape culture. Now, if you don't remember Pepe Le Pew, and I think most of us does, Pepe Le Pew was a French skunk who, by happenstance, would always he would always catch the sight of this black female cat who, for some reason or another, would always end up getting this white stripe down her back to make her look like a female skunk, which then made him, oh my goodness, there's somebody, which then made her his target. And I shouldn't have used the word target, but that's who he was now pursuing, because it was like, oh my God, this look at this. Let me go and holler at her real quick. Now, was Pepe aggressive? Absolutely. Pepe was mad aggressive. Hello, my darling. Oh, I love you. Yes. And now, here's the thing though. Yes, she was trying to get away from Pepe, and understandably so, because number one, that's that's crossbreeding with different species. We don't want that to happen. She wasn't a skunk, number one. Number two, the main reason why she wanted to get away from Pepe was because he was a skunk.
Exactly.
He smelled. And she was trying to run away from the smell, not necessarily him.
We doing too much, Mike. We are doing too much in this world.
And yes, he tried to pursue and all these other things, and he did what Pepe Le Pew did. But Pastor Sams was talking about that on his show earlier. When we watched Pepe, there was nothing in our minds like he was doing the wrong thing. It was just like this dude was like he just didn't take rejection.
Exactly.
He was like, nope, she playing hard to get. That's what they called it back then. Oh, she playing hard to get. I understand.
So now he promoting rape.
Dude, the skunk is promoting rape culture. I do not understand.
We live in a crazy world, bro.
I don't understand. And so because of that, they just said, well, you know what we're not going to do? We're not going to use him in the franchise anymore. We're just going to cancel. We're going to cancel Pepe.
So they just got rid of poor little Pepe Le Pew.
Yeah, they're not doing it anymore. And the daughter of the guy who created it is mad because they're like, why are you just getting rid of him? Because here's what you could do. And this is why stupid people upset me. Instead of just taking the easy route and saying we're just not going to use Pepe, right? We're not going to use him. Why don't they use Pepe as a teaching moment? You know what I'm saying? You can rebrand Pepe.
Yeah.
You know, you can have them to still be, still have that gung-ho, I'm not going to give up attitude, but still understand that there are,
tweak it a little bit, Mike. There
are limits.
Just a little bit. Just tweak it a little bit.
Yeah, had the other characters to call them, hey, man, look, she don't want you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Do something.
That's doing too much.
But to just cancel him altogether, I think first of all, it's the coward's way out. Because what you're doing is that you're telling the people who's all fussing about it and who's all upset about it is that, you know what, I'm gonna bow down to these folks because I want to avoid conflict. I just don't want the conflict, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and we're just gonna cancel them out.
This is a cartoon character, people.
Yeah, we're gonna cancel
cartoon character.
We're gonna cancel them out. Yeah, you know what, Sean? Looney Tunes ain't been on in forever. I mean, it runs in reruns and on Cartoon Network and stuff like that.
You might catch it, but it don't be on like that a lot.
They just brought out a new Tom and Jerry movie. I'm surprised ain't nobody complained about that.
I haven't seen it.
Well, I haven't seen no protests about Tom and Jerry because they promoting violence. Where's that protest at?
Man, they better not protest no Tom and Jerry promoting violence, man.
Yeah, look. Here's the thing. Do you know? And this is I'm trying to get y'all to see something. Right now, they're trying to pass a law in Illinois to ban the selling of the Grand Theft Auto games. Now I know y'all saying, man, Pepe Le Pew is a far cry from Grand Theft Auto.
Wait a minute, what you say?
They're trying to ban the sale of Grand Theft Auto in Illinois.
Because of violence or something?
Because of the violence and because of the recent uptick in carjacking and stuff like that, and they believe that Grand Theft Auto is one of the main reasons why carjacking has increased in Chicago. Because of violence
going on way before Grand Theft Auto.
No. It's because of violent video games. That's why everything is wrong in the world. Because of violent video games.
Yeah, okay, Mike. Okay.
That's why.
Okay.
It's because of violent video games. Everybody wants to place blame on something else. Everybody.
But that's what it's about, Mike. No one wants to take responsibility for nothing. So we're gonna push it off on somebody else because this. Come on, y'all. Carjacking been going on in Illinois way before Grand Theft Auto. Now I don't play video games, but I remember Grand Theft Auto first came out.
Yes, sir.
And carjacking has been going on way before that video game came out. We gotta stop. We gotta stop pushing responsibilities off on video games or cartoons. This is a crazy world we live in, man.
We gotta stop doing it. We gotta stop doing it. And look, and people will say, "Well, Mike, you gotta understand, kids are weak-minded. They're easily influenced." I get it, but not all kids. Not all. Some maybe. But that was just because they was unstable from the jump. Let's just be honest.
Exactly. I'm not going to blame a video game for a child being bad. I'm not going to do that.
Look, bro, y'all can hate me if you want to, but I'm telling you right now, if your kid go jump off a roof because he watched Superman, your kid was unstable from the get-go.
Exactamundo.
Something was wrong with him. I'm just saying. You know how much stuff... Listen. I've been a gamer since the Sega Master System, and y'all can predate that. That was back when that was hot when the original Nintendo was hot back in the early 80s. I was an arcade kid. My dad used to have arcades in his lounge. You understand what I'm saying? I was that kid that was dropping quarters in Pac-Man and Centipede, and I went to the arcades in Evergreen Plaza when that was a big man. Come on.
We used to go there to meet girls.
Dude, Games Galore was the hot spot. Y'all ain't heard me.
I used to go upstairs, get a slice of pizza for Sbarro's.
Go upstairs, get a slice of pizza for Sbarro's, get some cookies from the little cookie factory, and y'all was good. And you hung out and you went to Games Galore. Man, come on. That was my afternoon, dude. Go to a movie, go to the movies, go to Games Galore. You know, I hung out at the Tilt. Let me tell you something. Me and my guys used to actually go to local arcades challenging other cats, dude. That's just how serious it was. So I came up in video games. I played every Grand Theft Auto that was ever made. Every single one, even the little portable ones.
Never made it outside and steal a car, did it?
I never had the inclination to go and carjack anybody. Never had the thought to rob a store. Now, I wanted to run over a couple of people, yes, because they were stupid and they crossed the street when they shouldn't have. But reality checked in and said, Mike, you know, you can't run them over. I said, I'm almost certain I'll get 500 for each one of them.
Told you, Mike, relax. That's what it told you.
I'm just saying. Reality was like, Mike, you can't run them over. I'm like, I'm quite sure I'll get 500 points for each one of them if I ran them over.
Bro, what's going on, bro? You finally caught us.
You know, but it's I've played all kind of stuff. I played Gears of War where you cutting dudes in half with chainsaws. I've played everything, and I've never had
and you never had the inkling to go out and cut somebody in half.
Never had the inclination to do it. I've never jumped off a rooftop pretending to be Superman. Have I jumped off my couch? Absolutely. Who hasn't? When you was a kid, you jumped off the couch, jumped off the ottoman, and everything else. Ain't jumping out no windows. It ain't that serious, son. I knew I couldn't fly. Yeah, I thought I could walk through walls when I was little because I liked Casper, but I was 4.
Yeah, you special. That's what
you know what I'm saying. But I'm just saying how it's not every kid, and for us to sit up there and say that, oh my God, we have to just get rid of all of this stuff because it's influencing our kids. No, it's not. Those things we shouldn't have to worry about. It's the evil influences that's in the world that we have to check.
You're right, Sean. Time really has changed. It really have.
Yeah, it's changed.
It have, man.
It's the evil influences that we need to be worried about. It ain't Pepe Le Pew. But it's the stuff you talking about rape culture. You need to worry about the people that's really out there committing that stuff. That's who you need to be worried about.
And that's the problem. You don't.
And go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go. I do have.
And as parents, it's on us to be. It's on us. And
my mouth. I was about to say that.
Dude, we got to be able. You got listen. And my kids are gamers too. Both my boys, they play the game. And you know what? When they was little, and Kelly didn't like for me to let them play certain games. She just didn't like because they were young. She was like, Mike, don't let them play that. And I'm like, all right. As soon as she left the room, okay, y'all can play for a little bit. But the thing is that I was there monitoring what they were playing. And I'm gonna give you an example. There was this game called Fable, right? And the whole shtick with Fable is that you had the ability to choose how your character was going to be, and your actions literally affected things in the game.
That's a video game?
It's a video game. It actually affected how your character looked. So the more good things and heroic things your character did, he looked heroic. He had a certain glow about him, like little angels and stuff would be flying around him and all of these things. If you did bad, your character looked gray. He had dark eyes. He started growing little horns and stuff like that. So you knew he was on some dirt, and the people reacted to you differently. So I remember watching Michael play, and I'm looking at his character, and he was like, Daddy, how come my character don't look like your character? And I was like, I don't know. What have you been doing? He was like, I don't know. Well, come to find out, Michael was killing all the village animals. He was chasing the animals down and killing them. I said, why are you doing that? He was like, I don't know. I said, well, Michael, if you're killing the people's food, you're killing the animals, they might be a little bit mad at you. It just don't look good.
Nephew.
You got to do a little bit better, son. Stop killing the animals. I might have killed a couple of villagers. Why would you kill the villagers? What did they do? They didn't want to sell me this. I said, Michael, you can't kill people because they don't want to sell you stuff. So from that point, and here's the funny thing. He felt bad enough where he decided to not do the things. And eventually his character started changing how he looked. And next thing you know, his character was looking all heroic and he was all bright and the people clapped when he came around and all of that stuff. And I was like, see, you just got to do good, man. And there you go. So that was a teachable moment.
My bro just said kids shouldn't grow up by themselves. Get involved with your kids.
You got to, man. You have to get involved with your kids. You got to. And so as parents, we need to monitor all of that stuff. We need to monitor what they're watching. And especially now, parents, y'all need to be on these knuckleheads with this social media stuff. Because it's more influences on social media than there ever was when we was coming up.
Exactamundo.
Ever was. But the world will try to convince you that it's things. They're even changing Mr. Potato Head.
They changed Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah, look, because they don't want Mr. Potato Head to represent a gender. They don't want a potato to represent a gender.
So what is it going to be?
He's just Potato Head.
So more Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head.
There's no longer Mr. and Mrs. Potato Head. It's just Potato Head. That's all.
I'm so glad I hit a childhood where I feel sorry for these kids. I am so glad that I grew up in a regular childhood.
Man.
Pepe Le Pew was chasing the cat around when she got the white stripe on the back. Mr. Potato Head can be switched to Mrs. Potato Head. I'm so glad that I grew up in a normal childhood life. Because they making it hard for these kids, man. They really are.
They're just making it unbelievably hard. And it's to the point where it's just like normal influences don't have a chance. We don't have a chance.
Yeah, man. It's sad.
And that whole gender thing and look, I just got to be honest with you. It worries me because here's the thing: you can feel however you want to feel. And you can, if that's how you feel, you go right ahead and you feel that way, but it bothers me when I see Dwayne Wade's son or daughter or whatever it is you want to call him now. Because I remember him being on the cover of GQ magazine posing with his sons. And how dope I thought that picture was with him on there with his boys, and they had on their hoodies and everything. I was like, man, I love that picture. And now, he walking around with heels and stuff on, and you promoting it. And
it seems like Dwayne Wade is starting to dress more and more suspect after this. So he already dressed suspect to me in the beginning. But it seems like now he's dressing more and more suspect now.
And ladies, you ain't gonna like it, but he wasn't like that until he got up with that Gabrielle Union.
Yeah. And Gabrielle is different.
Man.
Hey, it's Hollywood stories about her and Sanaa Lathan.
Different. I'm just saying, different. She a different breed, son.
Mm-hmm.
Don't be fooled because she is.
Gabrielle ain't your regular female. Gabrielle is different. She different for real.
Yeah, she definitely built different. Like it's like I don't trust her. She about being in the garage sitting up there burning candles. Somebody calling me now. Who knows what she doing?
Hey man, well, I'm gonna say it like this, Mike. I understand how the world is today, but a boy is gonna be a boy to me, and a girl is gonna be a girl to me. Now, once you get older and get out of my house and go live your own life, you got the right to pick and choose however you want to live your life. I cannot tell a grown person how to live their life. But as long as you're in the house with me, Kelly, be quiet. As long as you're in the house with me, a boy is going to be a boy and a girl is going to be a girl. Simple as that. I'm not going to break down and cater to you because you feel something on the inside. Well, you better keep that mess on the inside till you're 21, homie. That's all I can tell you.
Right.
Seriously, once you get grown, I can't tell you what to do, Mike. You can't tell a grown person what to do. But I truly feel that if you still have a child in your house and you know your beliefs, and if you don't believe in that type of lifestyle, don't fall into that tent of this how it is today with the parents. No, a boy is still going to be a boy and a girl is still going to be a girl until they get up out of my house. And then if you want to turn into a girl, go right ahead.
I'm sorry, but it's just funny how you say it. Like, look, you're going to be a boy till you move out.
Man, come on now, Mike. Because back in the days, you kind of knew when boys was different.
Yeah.
And then once they graduated high school and they kind of disappear.
Yeah.
You don't see them no more. And they grown and
a little flashy. They a little flashy,
become like a little flamboyant.
Flamboyant. I understand. Yeah.
But we have to blame the way the media is and the way society is, man. I keep saying it. Society is trying to turn men into women slowly but surely.
Man, look. And the bad part is that they're succeeding. They're succeeding.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Anytime a dude can be on the cover and everybody's just glossing over him because he got a tuxedo on the top and a full-blown prom dress on the bottom.
Yeah. And you women folk, y'all is notorious for that too. Because y'all be celebrating that stuff and be like, yes. Yeah. And I'm like, no. Pharrell with his sleeping bag dress on. I'm like, come on, man. Even what's my man's son name? Jaden. He had his skirts on at one point in time. Usher was wearing a skirt. Omar Epps was rocking a skirt. All these dudes at one point in time.
But Mike, it happened years ago. I was telling people, men, someone gay in my family told me this years ago. Mm-hmm. They said today's men fashion is the fashion that we wore in the 90s. Take this camera off of me. Said today's men fashion is the fashion that we wore in the 90s. He said, y'all fashion there is no more than the gay men fashion of the 90s. And when they started going tight and bright, I was saying it. Like, man, y'all calm down. But the women, it's swag. Oh, you don't know how to dress.
Bro, do you remember how they
no man should be more into fashion than a woman. I don't care what nobody say. I truly believe that. If you were a man, he more into fashion with you, question that. question that. If he know more label names than you, question that.
Okay, but what if he's okay? I don't.
Come on, Mike. Come on. Your wife don't. That's like Kelly don't know nothing, but you telling her, yeah, Kelly, you should say it like this. You and Kelly go to the store and you picking out our outfits for her.
I don't necessarily.
Oh, you look good in that Coco Chanel, baby. Go on and get that. Yes.
Okay, here's the thing with that, right? I don't mind a guy who knows fashion, right? Because
don't either, Mike. I don't
I've
either.
I've just never been that guy. I like nice things, and when I want to, I'll dress a certain way, or I can dress a certain way.
But you're gonna dress masculine though, Mike.
No, and you know, so I'm not that guy. However, let me say this: I worked with a guy who was very fashion conscious. Like he knew he knew Michael Kors, he knew Chanel, and he knew all of that stuff. But he was, for all intents and purposes, a male model. That's kind of what he did.
But that's different though, Mike. I'm not talking about the male model. I'm talking about average Joe. I'm talking about you.
But that's what I'm saying. So I can't say that's true for every guy. Even your average guy may know some things. Like I know Gucci, I know Louis Vuitton, I know
Mike. It's
you know what I'm saying.
Can we please stop saying Louis, people? It's Louis Vuitton.
I'm gonna say Louis because that's how I want to say it. Now, if you want to say Louis, you're more than free to do it. So I know Gucci, I know Louis Vuitton, I know Chanel. You know, I know Michael Kors. These are brands that I'm familiar with because people that I know are familiar with it. Now, I can't tell you what the latest trends are because I just don't follow fashion that way. You know, so to say that if a man knows more about fashion than a woman, something is wrong with him, I can't necessarily agree with that. He just may be a guy that's just really into fashion and into clothes. It's just like the guest that we had on. He's a designer, so he's more into fashion than I am. If he works in that field,
he's a designer though, Mike. He's a designer, so he's gonna know the names of the stuff.
But okay, let's flip the script. That's just like saying that a woman should know more about cars than you do.
They shouldn't.
Why not? Are you telling me that a woman can't be a mechanic?
Cars, but I'm gonna be real with you. If you with a woman and you don't know nothing about a car, she up under the hood doing that that looks kind of crazy.
That looks like no, it does not. If the guy isn't mechanically inclined, I'm not saying that he shouldn't have some knowledge. He should know some basic things.
Yeah, you should know some basic things. Your woman shouldn't be up on no hood and you don't know a god doggone thing, Mike.
I'm not saying that, and what I'm saying is, using your rationale, you're saying that if a woman knows more about a car than a man does, something is wrong with her. And it's not. It's just something that she's into and that she learned about. It's just like Kelly is more into sports or football than I am. And that's just how she came up. I wasn't really a sports guy like that. My thing was in other things. I was into comic books. I was into computers. I was into games. That was my thing. She was into sports. Now, does that mean something is wrong with her or something's wrong with me? Absolutely not. It's just, it all depends on the person. If a guy's into fashion, he's just into fashion. I'm not going to say he's gay because he's into fashion. And if he knows more about his fashion than this girl, maybe she's just not into it. There's a lot of women that don't know a whole lot about fashion, although they may think they do. And if you really think about it, if you check their wardrobe when they come out every day, you will know a lot of these females don't know a whole lot about fashion. They just don't. So all I'm saying is that you can't use that rationale and say that if a person
we got to agree disagree on that.
No, that's I mean,
the majority of men I've known that have known about all that stuff has been 100% gay. I'm sorry.
And that's
I'm
fine.
sorry.
Maybe that's just the
My
guys
experience.
that's just
Yeah,
but
it's my
what I'm
experience.
saying is that you cannot say that just because a person have particular knowledge in one particular thing based on their gender that is wrong, because now what you're doing is exactly what the people are doing, is saying is that you can't do this because you're a male and you can't do this because you're female. That's exactly what you're doing.
I'm being a male chauvinist, that you saying?
I'm not saying you've been a male chauvinist, but what you're saying is that because you're female, you can't do this, and because you're male, you can't do that. That's what you're saying. That's exactly what you just said.
Okay.
And that's not fair.
Okay.
It's just not fair. So I mean, can a woman be a mechanic? Absolutely. If you want to be a mechanic, maybe her dad was a mechanic. Maybe he didn't have a son. Maybe he passed that trade on to her, and it's something that she just took up and she worked in that field. All of a sudden now something's wrong with her because she's a mechanic?
Okay.
That's silly.
Okay.
I mean, you ain't gotta agree with it. I'm just being honest with you. Your view is twisted because you can't sit up there and say just because
I believe in what I believe in. That's how I feel.
But you can't sit up there. No, what you're saying is that if a person, if you what you're doing right now is really gender assigning. That's just like saying that women shouldn't be managers.
No, I never said that, Mike.
But that's
totally different.
But
Mike.
no, because that's
the
slippery slope. And this is what I'm trying to warn you. It's a slippery slope when you start saying that people shouldn't do certain things because they're either women or men. Okay. It's a slippery slope that you're sliding on. Now, it's some things that, yes, I believe, and there are some things that I believe are exclusive to women. And there are some things that I believe should be exclusive to men. But there are some things that's open market. That's just like saying a woman shouldn't be a barber. Why not? A man shouldn't be a beautician. Why not? If he knows how to do a woman's hair, that's money. That's a trade. You know how many? I mean, it's just silly. It's just silly to say that if you're a male, you can't. There's just some things you shouldn't know about fashion. You just shouldn't know about it. You know, I mean, look, it is what it is, as y'all say. You know, but that's where we are, you know, in society. Ironically enough, that's exactly where we are, which is why they changed in Lola, which is why they want to change Mr. Potato Head, which is why they want to tell you and your people that it's okay for you to feel the way that you want to feel. If you're a guy and you feel like a woman, it's okay. If you're a woman and you feel like a guy, it's okay. That's the world that we live in. That's the world that we created. And that's the world that unfortunately we're accepting. So moving on. You got Bruno Mars in the news. He was on the Breakfast Club recently, and he was responding to some allegations. Now, about 2 years or so, it might have been maybe a few more years than that. There was a young lady who did an editorial about Bruno Mars and said that he was guilty of cultural appropriation, which means that he used his racial ambiguity, if you will, to benefit in the world of music. She said that basically what he did was he took black music and he took it word for word, rhythm for rhythm, didn't change anything, and just took it and used it to his advantage because he was able to appeal to both black crowds and white crowds as well. And so he was on the Breakfast Club, and they asked him about that and how he felt. And he was just like, man, music is just music. He was like, he never thought of it as like, you know, there's never one time where he was interviewed and they asked him, you know, like, who were some of your major influences? And he would say, man, you know, like the Marvin Gayes and the Sam Cookes and the Stevie Wonders and the Teddy Pendergrasses and all these guys were big influences in his life. And he gave credit to those people. But people are trying to say that he is doing what non-blacks have done for years, which is take what blacks have done and basically benefited from it and not necessarily gave credit to the ones that did it before him. This whole cultural appropriation thing is always something that's I always wonder about this thing, because basically what cultural appropriation is when you take the when you basically try to mimic, in a sense, a culture or race that you're not part of, right? So like blackface is a form of cultural appropriation because you're taking white people and they're dressing up and trying to be black. So that's what that is, and that's what they were basically accusing him of. Now, me personally, I ain't got no problem with Bruno Mars. I like his music. I thought he actually make pretty good music, and he got a song out now with Anderson Paak that's pretty hot. I forget what it's called. It's like what is that song called? Leave the Door Open or something like that. And he does it's a great song, man. But people was on him about this cultural appropriation thing. But I don't have a problem with, you know how many white artists that came around and people and they sound black. Like Justin Timberlake is another one who they say does that. He's guilty of cultural appropriation because he takes the black sound and he has benefited from it and all these other things, and it's just like, he's guilty of cultural appropriation. Cultural appropriation. That's what that is. And I'm like, what? How is it that I don't get it. I just don't. I don't understand it. I mean, do you have a problem with? Do you listen to Bruno Mars? Do you like his stuff?
Not really.
You don't like any of his music?
I know he had that. What was that song? 24 Karat something in the app.
Yeah.
Well, I don't listen to Bruno Mars.
You don't listen to Bruno Mars? You listen to Justin Timberlake? You don't listen to Justin Timberlake?
I don't listen to Justin Timberlake neither.
You don't listen to any white singers?
Some white singers I like, but I don't listen to those guys. I've never been. Their music never pulled me.
What white singers have you listened to?
What's that thick guy? Lost Without You.
Ooh, Alan Thicke. Is it Alan Thicke? Robin Thicke. Robin Thicke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You had the dude that made the What You Want to Do for Love back then. I just don't listen to Justin Timberlake. I don't listen to him. I don't listen to Bruno Mars. I just don't.
Did you like John B?
I don't consider them R&B anyway. I just consider them pop artists. So should nobody complain about what they're doing because it's not really R&B.
Did you listen to John B?
Don't listen to.
I mean, anything.
B? Don't listen to what people say. Yeah, listen to him back in the day. Yeah, he had a nice little cut. That was a nice little cut.
Did you think he was copying black people?
Who, John B?
Yeah.
No. You gotta remember, Mike, it's some white folks that was raised up around black people. And they took on the characteristics of black people. I knew somebody went to school. I told you the story. Only black guy in the school. And you listen to him, he talks and acts like a black guy. So it's some white folks that grew up around black folks that took the characteristics of black folks. So I really can't fault nobody. John B saying he happens to sound like a brother. That's just him. He's not trying to act like it. Or you can say Bruno Mars or Justin Timberlake. I never known Justin Timberlake to act black, but just because he sound like got a little soul in him, he a blue-eyed soul brother. So what do it matter?
Well, I mean, you have some people that believe that they are taken from the culture.
They ain't taking from no culture, Mike, man. They not taking from no culture, Mike. They
said that they are taken from the culture and they're not adding to it. They're just taking from it and they're benefiting from it.
What they doing, Mike, they outselling the black artists. And folks don't like that. That's all what it come down to.
Well, yeah, and that's one of the complaints, because when it comes to the Grammys, they were saying how artists like Justin Timberlake are really celebrated. Bruno Mars, I think that one year, I don't know how many Grammys he won.
What's that dude name, Mike?
Who?
When Kendrick Lamar got robbed his first year. What's that dude name they gave best rap art album to? And you ain't made another album ever since. What's his name?
Macklemore.
And he even said he wasn't even supposed to win that award.
Yeah, I mean, look.
But like I said, Mike, I mean, there is actually some white people that grew up around black folks, and they act like us. And it's not like they're trying to be us. It's just that what you grew up around, you're gonna act like.
Yeah, I just don't know. I guess my thing is it's us doing the accusing, and I've heard some people use the terminology. You know, they want our rhythm, but they don't want our blues. And
Because they outselling them dudes. That's why they jealous. They not selling more records than Justin Timberlake. They not selling more records than what's the dude name? What's Bruno Mars? Yeah. They weren't selling more records than John B when he was out. So it was just that's pure jealousy. Step your game up on your music, and then you wouldn't have nothing to complain about. Because I don't listen to Justin Timberlake, but I know he sold a lot of records to black folks because a lot of black folks like this music. A lot of black folks like Bruno Mars music. So you can't say that. That sounds like somebody just hating and jealous because their music's not selling as much as those two guys.
Yeah. I just wonder about the whole cultural appropriation thing because, you know, there's even, and I think we even talked about this one time when it came to people talking about cultural appropriation, even with Halloween costume for kids, and was just like, hey, if your kid, you know, like basically saying that, you know, white kids shouldn't wear Black Panther as a costume, you know, or dress up as Pocahontas or anyone that doesn't match them ethnically, right? It was just like they shouldn't dress up as those characters, and I'm like, it's Halloween.
So black kids shouldn't wear a Superman mask.
This is what I'm saying.
Batman mask.
But
this Iron Man mask.
This is what a lot of us has been crying about, cultural appropriation. And I'm like, but aren't we guilty of it? So, I mean, I look at these females, and the last time I checked, I don't know too many black girls that was born with bone straight hair or being blonde.
It all comes down. You pick and choose what you want to be mad about because you just hit it on the point. We can talk about them being cultural or whatever, but we'll go put the blue contacts in our eyes. And now you got black men dyeing their hair blonde and
dyeing it blonde. And all that
stuff. So like I said, Mike, it all comes down to we pick and choose what we want to be mad about. Like
I can't even keep track of the ultra yakis that's been sold in the hood.
But like I said, I might not
fake eyelashes.
I might not listen to them, but I know a lot of black people that listen to them, and whoever is saying that, they're just mad because Bruno Mars is selling more records than them. Just like they was mad at Justin Timberlake because he was selling more records than them at the time. But I'm not gonna say them dudes stealing our sound and nothing because I look at them as pop artists. I don't look at them as R&B artists. I look at them as pop artists.
But you know, do you remember when Kim Kardashian and what's the girl? McCain's daughter, John McCain's daughter, that was on The View. They wore some. I think one time they wore braids, and
they always come down on Kim. They always come down on Kim Kardashian about her braids.
Yeah, and Black Twitter was upset. Was like, how dare Meghan McCain wear braids? Why is Kim Kardashian wearing braids? I'm like, it's braids.
You have white folks that wear dreadlocks.
Look, here's the funny thing though. Black people fussing over braids like we was the ones that originated braids. We didn't do cornrows. That was Native Americans.
I just think we just pick things to argue about, Mike.
Yeah, the energy that we use and we devote to some of these things, I think is senseless. And
so what is Bruno Mars? I mean, what's the problem?
The problem is that he's not black, and he's
Puerto Rican and Filipino.
Yeah, the problem is that he's not black, and he's flourishing in a genre that is predominantly black, or at one point in time was predominantly black, and people don't like that. They don't like the fact that he is killing the game right now. And then now he's with this dude named Anderson .Paak, and they got some little collab band that
that's doing. Dre Boy. Nah, I done heard some of his little raps. That's Dre Boy.
Yeah, so
thing.
Yeah, so they about to do some stuff, and yeah, man, it's crazy.
But
I don't know.
everybody loved the 24 karat in the air. Everybody was singing that song.
I know, except certain black people, because they was just like, why is he benefiting from this? Why? He's not adding to the culture. He's
And that's
taking
just a
away
couple of
from it.
years ago. Everybody was singing that song.
Man, our father-in-law was singing that song.
Pops love that song.
He loved that
In my
song.
pocket. Keep up. That's all he
Man,
said.
that's all he was saying.
So
Put your pinky finger to the moon.
yeah, everybody loved that song. So I don't, like I said, Mike, that really sounds like, to me, that sounds like you salty because the boy's killing the game,
Yeah,
and you can't chart a record.
man, you know your boy done dropped 3 new songs, right?
Who?
Drake.
Yeah, Drake got an album coming by this summer.
Drizzy finna make it rain in the summer again.
It's been Drizzy season since 2009, people. It's 2021. I'm telling y'all, this dude got 4 records that's been on the Billboard charts for the past 10 years.
It's great. But you know what though, Sean? You're right. It's not his fault. But and we're not making him rich. Here's the thing though. My only thing is the whole cultural appropriation thing. Because we're guilty of it. See, the thing about some of us black folks is that we try to make it seem like everybody is doing something and we ain't doing nothing. We are doing the same thing. It's just like I said, the ladies is buying all this straight hair. Y'all wasn't born with that hair. Stop it. But you're trying to achieve a certain look. I'm so sick of every time I look up somebody that's doing this.
But Mike, like, that was like all the old Motown artists and James Brown, Lil Rich,
yeah.
With
all them had them perms, right?
Yeah,
the pompadours.
Yeah.
They did the same thing. And look, and I'm gonna tell you this: we do it with church. Uh-oh.
Here you go, Mike. Oh my God, Mike.
We do it with church. Black churches were known for choirs. How you gonna pay the rent? All your money spent.
Work it out.
And now you know what we're doing. I want more, Jesus, more of you. That's white people. Remember that? That's white folks. That's white music.
Yeah,
that's what y'all used to say.
I can't argue with you about that one, Mike.
That's what y'all used to say.
On the head.
But
I can't debate that one. You hit that dead on the head, Mike.
We had choirs. Now we got praise chorales.
Praise, yeah. I can't even lie to you. Choirs are basically dead now.
You know, we at first we was, oh, it's the old ship of Zion. Now it's bread of life sent down from glory. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah. I can't argue with you on that one.
Is that not cultural appropriation?
But like
I'm asking, Sean, you in the music, I need you to answer this for me. Is that not cultural appropriation? Did we not start doing what the white churches were doing? I'm just saying. So how is it that we mad when other people do our music? I'm just and this, look, I ain't got a problem with you if you're doing it well. I don't, because to me, music is music. I don't care who you are. I listen to everything.
I just think that we get mad and complain about the most dumbest things.
Yeah, look, I know, Jack. How y'all be doing it? That irritates me to my soul when I see that, man. I promise you it does.
I can't see none of these comments, Mike.
You can't see no comments?
None of them.
I don't know what to tell you.
We are not.
Sean said we are not Africans, but we have been imitated. Exactly. And our movies for the longest, but got mad at the black guy. I'm telling you.
Because they mad because it's my show, Snowfall.
Mm-hmm.
They mad because the guy that plays Franklin, he's from overseas.
But
he's from England.
But your boy, David Kaluuya, Judas and the Black Messiah, he's British all day.
Idris, Stringer Bell from the Y.
Idris.
English. He's English.
British.
Mm-hmm.
My man in the Star Wars movies, the recent ones, the black guy, British.
Mm-hmm.
That's not appropriation.
That is appropriation. He ain't black. He British. It's a difference. He like tea and crumpet. We like greens and cornbread. It's a difference.
He's not American.
He ain't American.
You can find a lot of American actors to play that role, but you go.
He ain't black. You know how many niggas in the hood could have played that role in Snowfall?
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Because I heard that dude talking. He started talking with that English accent. I'm like, wait a minute. Is this another interest?
Man,
no.
With David Kaluuya, he sounded so much like Fred Hampton. It irritated me. I'm like, man.
And I heard him in an interview. And I'm like,
where's Rihanna? Rihanna's from Brazil, if I'm not mistaken.
From the islands. What is Barbados? One of them islands.
Barbados. She from one of them bees.
That's terrible.
You better leave Riri alone, man.
She from one of them bees. I'm just saying.
Leave my girl Rihanna alone. That's my girl. That's my girl.
I mean, she ain't black.
Hi, Rihanna.
Rihanna ain't watching. Look, she ain't black, and she basically took black music and ain't she benefited from it?
No, she an island girl, man.
She ain't black.
Don't matter, man. That pulled up video
because she's from the island.
Jesus Christ, pull it up. That video is off the chain. I don't care what you say.
No, you know what song that was crazy? That what was that one song? That birthday song she had. Man, look here.
You know what? Come on, man. Get off of that, Mike. Stop. I'm not doing it.
But she ain't black, Phil.
I'm not doing it.
She's from the islands.
The island girl, man.
But she getting paid.
Islands, man. My grandmother was from the islands. My grandmother was West Indian, man. Respect
Drake
the islands,
ain't
man.
black.
Respect the islands. My grandmother from the West Indians.
Drake ain't black, and he been winning for the past 10 years.
He got a black daddy.
It don't matter. Black. He's Canadian.
Yeah, black. Hey, black Canadian.
He's a Canadian Jew.
Mike, now you're getting carried away, Mike.
But that's what he is. He's Jewish and Canadian.
We know Aubrey is a Jew, but we're gonna leave that alone.
But is he appropriating the culture?
I don't know what he's doing, but it's been Drizzy season since 2009.
Look, now she gonna type when all she had to do was just yell out what she normally been yelling out for the last 15 minutes.
Just type it, baby.
Talking about something, he's black. Just yell it. You've been screaming for the last 10 minutes.
No, Kelly, no. I understand what Kelly. Well, wait a minute. I understand what Kelly's saying, Mike. He is black, Kelly. They're all black, but what we're saying is, why can't you get a African American to play a role of an African American? Why would you have to go get a black Brit to play a role of a black and American?
More.
Like, stop, man. You're gonna make somebody mad. Stop.
Jesus, more of you.
No, pull the hand out, Mike. You got to stick the hand out. Stick the hand out. Stick the hand out. There you go. There you go.
Ain't that what we do now?
There you go, man.
Whole service.
But you know what, Mike? Sometimes we as black people, we do have a double standard on things, and thank God that you know, it shows like this that we're not trying to offend anyone, but we're willing to be honest about things. Sometimes we do want a double standard. Now with the Bruno Mars thing, man, he killing the game. Even though I don't listen to him, but I know a couple years ago, everybody named Mama, my father-in-law loved this song. He was singing that 24 Karat. I don't even know the title. All I know is 24 Karat in the Sky song.
Put your pinky finger to the moon.
And all I know is I'm a dangerous man with money in my pocket.
I'm a dangerous man with this money in my pocket.
All the time when that song come up. I'm a dangerous man with the money in my pocket. Keep up.
What do you say? I got the ladies all around me and they waking up the rocket. Keep up.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So I mean, like I said, that sound like a little hate, man.
That's it. To me,
that's hate, Mike.
That's what it sounds like it's motivated by. Because here's the thing: if Bruno Mars if Bruno Mars was as successful as he is now, and if he never gave credit, if he never said, you know what, I was influenced by Stevie Wonder and Marvin Gaye and Teddy Pendergrass and all of these other greats that came before me.
That should be it.
If he never said that, I probably would have a problem if he said, well, you know what? It's just a style that I like and I just came up with this. No, you didn't. You're lying. But he always gave credit to where credit was due. That's all I'm saying. What you say, Sean?
Now you got Sean started.
Well, Sean said we wishy-washy in our church. Our black church culture is
my head.
Black church is about our personality. Yeah, but do we even what's our personality now? Like, do we even have an identity anymore? Like, does the like? I mean, like for real. And the reason why I asked that, and we moving on from Bruno Mars. This is going to be the other thing I want to talk about. Last thing we was going to talk about is the identity of the black church, right? What is the identity of the black church? Do we even know who we are anymore? What do we
because I don't know.
Do we know what purpose we serve anymore? They were talking about some weeks ago, they were talking about the relevancy of the black church. Is the black church still relevant?
I gave you my answer. It's only black church is only relevant to people that go to it. And I don't care who gets mad about that. That is honest God truth. Even during this pandemic, I see no one running to the church. I see more people running from the church during the pandemic.
And see,
people are starting to say that they don't need the church. They can do it themselves.
Now but no, this is what a lot of people believe the identity of the black church is that we're all about money.
Yeah, it's becoming a big business.
It's more business oriented than it is the business of saving souls. It's always been political, right? It's always been political.
I just truly feel that politics and religion should never mix. That's just my opinion.
Here's the thing. Anytime you have any hierarchy of leadership, you're going to have politics. That's just how it works. Politics is going to be involved in it, right? Because people are always going to be jockeying for position and prestige and whatever. That's just how life is.
And that's just sad to me. It really is.
But it's just like it's like we just don't have that idea. Like what? Like I'm joking about it, but why did we stop? Why is it that choirs is not a thing anymore? That used to be part of our identity.
No, that's not what people want to see.
No, I mean, but think about it. When you went to church, what do you remember? You remember the church. You remember the choirs in full regalia, robes and all. That means that the organist, the director, everybody who was part of the choir had on a robe. And what did they do? They marched in. They was like, we're marching on to Zion. I mean,
can I be honest, Mike? Like when I first started going to church, I didn't know that there was a spirit, what they call them, spirit squad, a spirit, what Kelly them do, like before
the praise team.
I didn't know. I thought it was just a straight choir. I didn't know they had the choir, and then you had the praise team. Like,
yeah. Now you got now it's chorales. Actually, it ain't even teams no more. Now it's just 3 people. You got the lead singer, and you got 3 people that's doing backup. It's not even a praise team anymore.
And they're singing choir songs.
And they're singing choir songs or whatever songs they're doing now. And look, I get it. Don't get me wrong. I understand times change, and I personally wouldn't want to march in a full choir robe either, because for one thing, it took forever. I understand tweaking some things and changing some things, but when you're changing things to the point where you're no longer identifiable, that's scary.
Yeah.
Because now there is nothing that separates the black church from any other church other than the fact that we're just considered a black church because of our demographic.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing.
But that's when they was having it about the relevancy, like a lot of people and a lot of church folks, like, I'm not going to say who it was, but somebody on that show kind of got offended when I said it, when people started saying it. But church people don't want to hear this. I'm not going to say it. I'm not doing that. I'm not getting messy like you, Mike. I'm not doing it.
First of all, I'm not messy because I don't mention names.
Nick, you know what? Listen, Let me get back what I'm saying. A lot of people don't like to hear.
Name 2 people I've ever mentioned on this show. 2.
I'm not finna mention those 2 people that you mentioned.
Exactly. Because I don't do it.
You know what, Mike? We're gonna leave that alone because we're not gonna do that.
I don't do it.
But Mike, seriously, all jokes aside though, Mike, a lot of church folks don't want to hear this, and especially those real churchy people.
Wait a minute. Sean said what? We do slave dances. What are the slave dances?
Oh, Sean, I know you ain't talking about the.
Are you talking about the oh? Are you talking about the praise dance?
I'm glad somebody said it because I always thought that. I promise you I did. Thank you, Sean. Thank you. I always said that, but I just don't want to disrespect nobody. But let me get back to what I'm saying. Mike, let it ride, Mike. Let it slide, Mike. Mike, please let it slide.
He just called the praise dances slave dances.
Let it slide, Mike. Just let it slide.
I be skating on home to Jesus.
See, here we go.
Skating on home to Jesus. I've never heard that slave dances. What?
Where somebody ever saw some of that? It was like a while back. It's like before I even joined the church, I was with somebody and somebody invited me to their church. And when I first saw, like, is this like a play on slaves or something?
Wait, but he can't be talking about the praise dance. Nobody knows the trouble I see.
No, he's talking about shouting.
Oh, okay.
But I thought the praise dance was kind of like, is this a play? But seriously,
man, I was worried for a minute. I was like, what? I enjoy the praise dances from time to time. Okay, right. So he's not talking about them. He's talking about. He's talking about the people.
I didn't see it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. We good now. I didn't know what you were saying at first. I was a little concerned.
But you know what, Mike? Let me get back to what I was about to say, Mike. A lot of church people don't want to hear. A lot of church people, especially real churchy folks, don't like to hear this. But folks have lost faith in the church. They really have. And it just seems like now it's like folks got they Sunday face. It's like on Sunday you put this face on and you're a different person. Then when you get out of church, you come home, take that face off, and what people don't realize, you can shout, you can scream, you can call God to the heavens. But if you're not a good person on the inside, none of that don't mean a doggone thing. Never be so heavily bound that you're no earthly good. Never.
Skating on home to Jesus.
Right, stop, man.
Skating on home to Jesus.
Sing it again, Mike. Sing it again.
I be skating on home to Jesus. I be skating on home to Jesus. I be skating on home to Jesus till he comes.
So wrong. This is so wrong. This is so wrong, man.
Oh, son, I wasn't trying to say that. Oh, Lord.
He gonna make them Kojic folks mad.
Oh, God. And that's not what I was saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying. No. And no. Now here's what I'm not doing. What I'm not doing is trying to call out any denomination. That's not what I'm doing. I'm saying
I'm not talking about denomination. I'm talking about what you're doing right now. I'm to Jesus.
I'm just saying that the black church as a whole we no longer have an identity. We just don't. At least I don't think we do. It feels like sometimes it feels like we're kind of like caught in some type of transition. Like I don't know. I don't know. Okay, so Sean said he's agreeing with you, Phil. What did you say that I missed? I'm sorry. I might have been too busy laughing. What you say? What were you talking about? What you agree with, Sean?
What
What
about?
you?
Oh, when I was talking about how folks are lost faith in, is he talking about how folks are lost faith in the church? Because
Absolutely.
Can I be real with you, Mike? Can I be honest with you?
You gonna be honest with me? Are you gonna be honest?
Real. No, we finna keep it real right now.
Are you gonna be like for real honest?
It's just like there's a lot of phoniness going on in the church. That's just
Lord.
me.
Oh,
I'm sorry to say it, but it do. It's like people have a certain face they put on Sundays.
Lord, just
and come Sunday, they take that face off and they go back to being their regular self. That's just me. And like I said before, no matter how loud you can scream and shout, no matter how good you sing, if you're not a good person on the inside, none of that matter. It don't. It don't.
Okay, so
yeah, Sean, they do, Sean.
All right.
But the way they act being deep and not nice.
Okay, so
it is. That's the way it is. It's a lot of church folks that they try to come off like they holier than thou, and they no good on the inside.
I think, how can I say this without?
Just say it without offending anybody, Mike, please.
I don't think I can say it without. Okay, here's the biggest issue that I have, and I've indicated this on more than one occasion. The biggest problem that I have with the church is that a lot of people in the church are not honest enough with themselves, right? And my thing is that if you're not honest with yourself, how is it that you intend on being honest with the people who come into church? Right. And Sean, he just mentioned it. He said, you love God, but you don't like people.
The church. You love God, but you don't like what's going on in church, or you don't like the church people.
So here's two issues. Here's two issues that I have. Number one is those that are self-righteous, and y'all know who I'm talking about. It's the ones that like they have they've done no wrong. They can't do wrong.
They don't have a past at all.
And right. And they don't have a past. They will tell you, well, you know what? I used to do this, but this is where I am now. But, if you have an issue and you approach them about an issue, they look at you like you're alien, like you shouldn't feel that way. You shouldn't have questions. You shouldn't have doubts. Like to admit that you human is a chink in your armor in some way. And then what that does is it makes people feel like, well, man, if I can't
feel a certain way, you're scared to be yourself because you're scared you're going to be shunned.
Right. And dude, let me tell you something. That's the worst feeling in the world when you're in a building full of people who you think that you will never measure up to. Because and here's the thing, you're not even worried about if you're measuring up to God, because you're too busy worried about if you're measuring up to the people who's judging you.
Well, Mike, that's what it's supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about God.
I know, but what I'm saying is, like, do you see how that can hinder people?
I'm agreeing with you. I'm agreeing 100% with you.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm so concerned about if this person thinks I'm holy enough, or if they think I'm saved enough, that I'm trying my best to impress them.
Exactly.
And not try to live my best for the Lord. Exactly. Do you know the type of pressure that is?
Runs a lot of people away from the church too, Mike.
That's a lot.
It runs a lot of people from church because you're scared. I'm afraid to be myself because someone gonna look at me a certain type of way because
let me
I'm
tell
not
you,
acting like this or I'm not acting like that.
Right.
So they're gonna look at me like, oh, that's why I hate that man of God and man go to church crap. Who is you to tell me my faith? Who is you? Like who died and made you God to tell somebody their faith or you? It's up to you to tell somebody if they're saved or not saved.
Look,
Who
let me
made
tell you
you
something.
God? You have no other hell to put nobody in.
I know,
Don't
and
worry
people
about your faith. Don't
people
worry
have a
about
tendency
your
of
faith.
doing that, right? And they shouldn't. And but there is an enormous amount of pressure on a person when you are going to church and you are worried about how people see you, right? And it's because these people have put on this facade that makes them that they put on this facade to try to make themselves appear
They
to be
came in the world straight from
more
heaven. They
to
came
be
in
more
the world straight from heaven.
right. So they put on these masks and all of these different facades to try to make themselves feel or to appear like they more than what they really are. And they are projecting this image of perfection and telling you have to live up to this image.
And I got that. That's why I hate that a man to go to church, a man to God. Who died and made you the person to tell somebody whether they're saved or not because they're not doing what you do? Because a lot of people that do all that hooping and hollering, that's an act.
Yeah. You know what, Sean? Hey, I'm all for it. I'll tell you this. If ain't nobody doing nothing Friday, we can all hash it out next Friday because it's something that needs to be talked about because it's not discussed. And if it is discussed, you know how it's discussed? It's discussed in small groups, right? It's discussed it's discussed where people are like, man, you know what? I didn't like this and I didn't like that. And it was things that was never really, really brought out. You know, although there's a lot of people,
real churchy people.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that had that, and I can promise you, there are a lot of people that had that struggle, and probably still have that struggle of trying to live up to people in the church, trying to live up to the image that you think somebody has of you, trying to live up to and these people are just as flawed and it's just as broken.
Pastor said almost every Sunday, it's a lot of folks that can hoop and holler, speak in tongues and everything that's going to end right up in the pits of hell.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that's
because like I said, if your heart not pure, Mike, you can be the greatest singer in the world. You can preach the heavens down. But if you don't have a pure heart, none of that means a thing.
Yeah. So I tell you what, let's set it up for next Friday, and we'll let's get some people together. And oh no, I ain't gonna forget about it. We'll definitely talk on this one because, dude, it needs. I think this is one of those things that just needs to be talked about. This, you know what this is like? This is like that gay family member that don't nobody really talk about, but you know he exists, but don't nobody really talk about him. You know, he just have a special friend, but you don't really talk.
And like I said, by no means is me and Mike trying to offend anyone, but but this is called Man Up Real Talk, and we really need to, and we try to have real discussions, and that's a discussion, like you said, it's like the gay cousin nobody want to talk about. Yeah. And I tell people, focus on God. Don't worry about that, cause I'm gonna tell you something, man. When I was young, man, I had a church on each corner, one on this corner, one on that corner. Those folks would come, take parking spots, do all type of stuff, and would not even speak to you. Hey, how you doing? They look at you. They look at you like you got the Ebola. And the sad part about it is, I still see that in today's church. I see when folks walk past and you don't speak to them.
Well, see, and here's the thing, and then we're gonna wrap it up. If you want to talk about the relevancy of the black church, the reason why the black church is no longer relevant is because the people are no longer relevant to the church. Right? If the community was still as relevant to the church as it used to be, then the church would still be relevant to the people. But it's not.
Mike, we did that Kanye thing when everybody got into the history. Like I said, if your church been a community and no one in that community goes to your church, that's a problem.
I look at it this way: if you've been, if especially when you're in a community and there is 50 churches in that same community and there is no change in that community, then that tells me right then and there that something is not being done.
Exactly.
And is it that the people don't want it, or is it the church not providing it? So that's something that needs to be looked into. But I'm all for it, Sean. I'll definitely hit you up a little bit later on, earlier next week.
I just
and
hope,
we'll
no one gets offended, because church folks, they get offended, they come defending it. They will defend it. They will defend it to they die.
And you know what? And I think it needs to be done from a younger, non-pastoral point of view, because sometimes I think pastors can be a little biased, and that's fine because they're supposed to be, and I don't mind that.
Sometimes you need to get folks that don't go to church.
Yeah, but I think
and wonder why they don't go to church.
Yeah, I think just that. I think that's something that we can absolutely do. So yeah, but I think that we're gonna pretty much wrap it up there, man, because it's going on. It's after 9:00 now. We've been on here rambling for an hour and a half. I love these Thursday shows, except when
it got good at it. Yeah, we need to
except when certain people getting their feelings and they don't want to talk. But I ain't gonna say nothing.
Who don't want to talk? I be letting you talk, man.
Mm-hmm.
What you talking about?
Mm-hmm. When they can't agree to disagree.
I said agree to disagree.
Then they go to watching TV and looking on their phones because they don't want to look in the camera. I know how.
Nah, somebody know. my bro was texting me and asking what we on. You don't try to get us viewers right now. You tell me looking in the phone. Get us viewers, and you talking about looking in the phone.
I'm gonna have to repost this video.
We're gonna stop talking about. We're gonna stop talking. But like I said, by no means are we trying to offend anyone.
No, never that.
We are two men that go to church. We are two men that love God.
Yeah.
But church folks, it's time to be honest.
But the cool thing is,
no one is running to the church, even in a pandemic. I'm not talking about somebody that come from another church that joins the church. I'm talking about folks actually coming off the streets coming to the church. But no one is doing that.
Here's what I don't want to do. What I don't want this to be is we talking about problems. What I want us to do is to actually have some viable solutions to the issues that we have.
Give me one solution before we leave, Mike.
Well, okay. I think the easiest solution, right, when you talk about relevancy to the church is or the church's relevancy, you have to be relevant to the people again. Well, how do you be relevant to the people? Well, you have to make yourself known to the people. You have to reach out to the community, let the community know that you're there. That's a
top solution right there, Mike.
Yeah, do stuff that's viable for the community. You know what I'm saying? Make your presence known. The reason why Father Flager is successful where he is because he's a presence in that area. And the things that he does is for that area, for the people in that area. So that's the type of stuff, So if we're gonna bring some issues, then we need to discuss some viable solutions. That's all I'm saying.
The black church was the forefront of the
community. Sean said he coming with bullets. He ain't apologized. Hey, bring them, cause let's get it out there, And yes, Kelly, you want to be on that panel? Oh Lord Jesus. Okay, you can be on that panel. So it should be it should be fun. So
I wish we could find some people that don't go to church also.
Oh man, all you gotta do is throw a rock. You'll find a whole lot of people that don't go to
Mike. No, don't do that. Don't do that, Mike. Don't do that, Mike.
I'm gonna throw a rock out the window. The first person I hit, hey dog, you go to church? Nope. Come on.
But you know what? Mike, we can joke about it, but that's sad.
Yeah, it is. But you know what? Here's the good thing. The good thing is because now things are shifting in a way that a lot of people ain't getting. The things like in the church, just things in general are shifting. The Lord is really changing some things around. And because we are starting to really acknowledge the issues that we have in the church, we can hopefully start to change them and correct them so that we can be relevant once again.
We got to take those tunnel visions off.
Yeah. Once we get out of that, Absolutely. Once we do that, I think we'll be all right. Listen, that's gonna be it for us on this evening. Get vaccinated, people. That's all I'm saying. I got vaccinated last week. I'm happy. I feel pretty good. I got that Johnson and Johnson shot, so I ain't got to go back for a second one. My arm's still a little bit sore, but you know, I'm actually kind of happy I got it done. So if you can get it done, get it done, get it done, get it done.
Yeah, Sean, you right. You right, Sean.
Yeah.
He said, "No, Phil, this needs to be intimate. We know guys don't come. We need to discuss why
inside is." Yo, that's it right there.
Yeah,
that's it right there. You know, because you know, in our classes, in the pastor's master classes, he's teaching about all the other faiths and beliefs and everything, and he's showing how a lot of us are leaving the church and are, you know, it's an exodus from the black church, and they're going to a lot of these other religions, and there's a reason that is, you know. I was listening to these ladies on last night, and they was talking about how the church is using it, how the church is losing the youth, and you talking about the future of the church.
Oh man, that's
if we can't save the young people, if we can't keep the young people interested, if we can't invest in the youth of the church, then there is no future church,
because
there is none.
No one is trying to even do anything to try to keep the youth interested.
Yeah,
you can make your kids when they're under your roof. Yeah, you can make them go to church every Sunday. But I've noticed that, and this I've always been. I've noticed that when kids get old enough, they stop going.
That's why right now I'm working with my son. We're trying to get a ManUp youth thing going, man. We're gonna do it. That's what we're gonna do on the YouTube channel, Phil. We got the young panel, the young guys. And they're gonna come through and they're gonna start we're gonna start having some conversations, man, with these young men out here, and pick their brains and try to see what's going on, and hopefully get a better grasp so we can get a better understanding and just do better.
You don't want to lose little boys to the streets.
Nah, man, you can't. It's too, like I said, there's too many influences. There's too many influences out there. We have to work twice as hard to keep our kids and to keep our sons. So that's definitely in the work. Listen, YouTube channel, please subscribe if you haven't done it already. Make sure you go and subscribe to ManUp Real Talk on YouTube. Click and like that subscribe button and hit that little bell so you can get all notifications for when we go live. If you don't follow us, please make sure you follow us on our Facebook page. Friend us and like us at ManUp Real Talk Podcast. You can follow me. You can follow Phil. We're on Instagram and Twitter and all that stuff. So if you own it, pop on by, pay us a visit, drop a line, and do whatever. Next Tuesday, Brandon and Elizabeth Baldwin will be joining us of the 23 and Mary podcast. They're going to be stopping by and having a talk with us. Cool young couple, man. Young man I've been knowing for a long time, and he and his wife is going to be coming through, and they're going to be talking about just being young, being married with kids, and I think it's a good conversation. If you got some young people around, man, tune them in. This is going to be some really good stuff. So if you're not busy next Tuesday, make sure you come and hang out with your boys at 6:00 Central Standard Time. And on behalf of Philip Hines and myself, this is the ManUp Real Talk Podcast. Y'all already know, until we talk again, my friends, y'all get 2 fingers to the side. Holla at your boys, because we are nobody knows.
Right, just say out.
The trouble I've seen. Nobody knows. All right, y'all. We out. Peace.